Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending at what time you are connecting. Welcome, and oh my God, this is so exciting! It's the first podcast. Woo! Welcome to the podcast for the career and entrepreneurial woman. I am Moni Millares. If you know me, you know that one of my passions is personal development, anything related to body, mind, and spirit. And I've been in my journey for about 10 years now. And this is just another creative project out of that journey. It's not only keeping all this knowledge and wisdom and passion to me and my friends, but it's more of a let's open up and expand to the world. Okay, that's why it's so exciting. It's expansion time. If you don't know me, my name is, let me give you like a little intro. My name is Monica Millares. You can call me Moni. I'm originally from Mexico. Then I lived for 9 years in London. I first moved to study my master's. I was supposed to stay there for 1 year, but then that extended into 9. And then for the past 3.5, almost 4 years, I've been living in Malaysia, which is an exciting change as well. So career-wise, I've always worked in financial services. My very first job was in a development bank in Mexico. And then I had opportunities working for payment schemes in London, retail banking, and about 5 years ago, when all this fintech industry came up at the very, very beginning, I was very blessed to join one of the first challenger banks in the UK. So 5 years ago, I started my entrepreneurial journey. And since then, I've been part of the founding team or leadership team in 2 banks or challenger banks, if we want to call them like that. One in London and one in Southeast Asia. And it's been an amazing experience. And part of all of this personal development journey has helped me work in this type of opportunities. I genuinely do think since the very beginning when I joined the first one that many times I could have given up. But it was because I had this passion for personal development that I kind of looked inside many times and then I continued the journey. So that's a little bit about me and my career. But also, I have an alternative career. And then for the past 10 years, well, it's a career slash a passion. Like for the past 10 years, I've been focusing on all things personal development and coaching and body, mind, and spirit. Like I've done coaching. Of course, like I've been focusing on my own journey. Like I've gone through tons of coaches, seminars, therapists, like everything that you can imagine. Like I've been to plenty for the past 10 years. And I've invested a lot of money in them as well. So I've done this from my side with high quality teachers. So I've done that, but at the same time, I've been doing on and off coaching, on and off workshops, on and off videos. So this is the first time that I want to put it all together. So what I want to talk about next is why now? Why start this podcast now? And more importantly, why did I choose the name? Why is it Celebrate You? That's an important point. It's like, why celebrate you? And basically, I'll talk a little bit about what is it that we're going to cover in these episodes going forward. So let me start at the very beginning. Why now? So it all starts with 2020. 2020 was a challenging year for everyone. And of course, I was not the exception. We had, well, but also I had the experience with COVID that totally rocked our world, changed everything. We have lockdowns and isolation. We have the usual stress at work. We have love. We have heartache. There's uncertainty. So it was intense. Like, that's the word. 2020 was intense. And at some point, it was starting to get to me. I was like, oh, I'm starting to lose it. And I was very honest and genuine with myself. So, what I found is dealing with these challenges, we all took different avenues. Some of us, we were dealing with the challenges with alcohol, or drugs. Like I have friends that they're like, oh yeah, I've gained so much weight. Like I've been eating a lot, I've been doing drugs, I've been drinking, da da da. Other people just didn't deal with it. There was just like explosion of emotions, and they didn't want to or didn't have the tools to manage all of this because it's been overwhelming, it's been too much. Others, like myself, I've decided to take this opportunity of being inside, like properly locked down in my apartment, to go inside within me and my heart and my mind. So that's what I've been working on. So towards the end of last year, I made a very conscious decision to reconnect to my passions, what I love doing, and to relook at life. I saw that 2020 and COVID was an amazing opportunity. We all say in many years from now, we'll be able to tell our kids and grandkids, who knows, about COVID, and the lockdown. So I was like, what story do I want to tell them? And I want to tell them, hey, it's a year where, yeah, we all went inside and it was an amazing opportunity rather than an amazing challenge. Well, it was an amazing opportunity with challenges. So towards the end of the year, I also hired a coach and I joined Dan Mangena's mastermind program. And little by little, I've been starting to reconnect to myself. And when I say to myself, I mean to my deep self, like the conscious, the subconscious, the emotions, the things that we don't see, the things that we don't talk about. So there's been a lot of inner work. And I've also, as part of this, I also realized that I miss coaching and I miss talking about these topics. I missed being part of this industry and sharing all this knowledge, because since I started my fintech journey probably 5 years ago, I kind of put that on hold. I just focused on building banks rather than focusing on these projects. So I started my accreditation journey again to become a coach. So I studied coaching in London many years ago, but at the time I didn't get the accreditation because I thought it was a lot of money, which really it wasn't, but for me it was. And I decided not to get the accreditation. And now I was like, actually, I do want to get the piece of paper. I want the accreditation that says that I'm a professional coach. And as part of that, I've been doing pro bono coaching. And this is what gave me the courage and inspiration to start the podcast. I've been working with ladies that work in the fintech industry, and they're the ones that inspired me. And they've inspired me because they are so full of energy and hope and ambitions, and they are just like shining. And what I've noticed is that our chats have been like beneficial to them. Like they get a lot of value from the chats, and it also brings well, not the chats, the coaching conversation, but my style, it's very casual in that way that it's like it does feel like a chat, at least to me. But anyways, like they've received value, they've seen a different perspective from someone who's walked a similar path. Some of them have told me like, oh, this is so good because like I've been looking for a mentor, but all of them are men. And I was like, oh, I was not even aware of that. I was like, that is interesting. So it's like it's sharing from a woman to a woman perspective what I'm doing now. And last week at some point I was like, oh, I wish that somebody told me what I'm telling her now 10 years ago. Like my life could be so much different. And that's what inspired me, basically. I started a podcast in November, but in Spanish. Same concept, same things, but it was in Spanish. But it was because of these women that I was like, actually, they were like, but we're missing out. We cannot listen to your podcast in Spanish. They were like, yeah, give us some progress, give us something. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So I'm doing the podcast now in English and Spanish. Yay! And this is how we came up to this moment now. And we're talking about celebrate you. So exciting times. So why did I choose the name Celebrate You? It's very simple because we don't. It's as simple as that. One of the biggest lessons of 2020 for me, or the biggest practices, was focusing on seeing and acknowledging and accepting the light and the dark in me, the good and the quote unquote bad. So we all talk about awareness, we talk about knowing ourselves, we talk about loving ourselves, but we really don't talk much about celebrating ourselves. And this is something that I'm starting to do more. Probably I didn't used to. Now it's a very conscious decision. So the how I got there is this year I decided to start investing in crypto. I had I put some money into Bitcoin like some time ago, but this time I was like, no, I want more than just Bitcoin. I want to have a small portfolio of different coins. And I want to learn about it just because it's the future. Just because I work in fintech, I'm like, oh, I want to experiment, basically. It took me a while to sort things out. I was a little bit out of my comfort zone. I thought the user experience in all these wallets is horrible. Not horrible, but it's something stressful because like I was like, oh my god, I can't lose my money if I do the wrong thing. It was like stressful, even for someone like me that works, like in fintech and it's familiar with all these things. But anyways, it took me a while, but then once I finished and I was like, okay, cool, my money is in there. Like I felt so proud of myself. Oh, my phone is talking to me now. I think you didn't hear that. But anyways, doing these investments in crypto and finishing the going through that journey, it was so empowering. And that was a surprising return that I got from my investment. I really was not expecting to feel empowered because I put some money into investments. And I was like, oh, that is so cool. And my mentor, Dan, he said, oh, you did a great job. Go and celebrate yourself. And I was like, oh, yeah, I should go and celebrate myself. And then that's when I got it. Like for all these years, I've been focusing on self awareness. I've been focusing on knowing ourselves. What is it that we want? Our mindset, our heart set, self love, self care, all of these. But I haven't celebrated myself. And I think we don't talk about this in society. At least we as women, we don't grow up with our parents saying, go and celebrate yourself. Like, at least I haven't heard anyone say that. So that's the reason why we're here, so that we can celebrate ourselves more and more often. And to celebrate ourselves, of course, we need to have the self awareness and know ourselves and self love and self care, self confidence, and all those beautiful things as well. But celebrating ourselves takes things to the next level. Okay, so that's about it. That is basically who am I and why celebrate you. So let me tell you what is it that we're going to talk about in this series. Basically, I'll talk about 4 topics. My episodes will be basically I will not have a specific order, but the episodes will cover any of these 4 specific topics. The first one is I will tell you stories. I'll tell you stories about chapters in my life. Why? Because, like I told you, I'm in my journey as well. And part of my journey of celebrating me is kind to see the light and the dark and acknowledging, like all these episodes in my life, the good and the bad. So I want to share that, and not only just for the sake of sharing and doing my sharing my experiences, but also because I found over the years I connect with people who I'm trying to learn something from, or who I'm interested to learn a new perspective. I connect the most with them when I know their stories because I can relate to them. It is not, hey, he's the founder. Oh, he's amazing. Oh, she's like so cool. It is, oh, he or she is a human and has also had challenges. And that makes the words that they say a little bit more powerful, or a little bit more easier for me to understand. So I want to do that as well. For you to know me, I don't want to be just a person here talking about frameworks. No, I do love frameworks and have tons both at work and in personal development. But I want to make it like personal because it sounds weird, but like when you're creating a podcast, even though you may be talking to the computer and it feels like you are just like in a room on your own, to me it feels like I'm talking to you, like we're having a chat. Like I'm really talking to you on a one-on-one basis. So that's why I want to make this like a space for us to connect. So that's segment one is about stories about my life. Segment two is about answering your questions on how to deal with life or how to deal with challenges. That may be how to deal with emotions, mindset, strategy, work, passion projects, business. Everything is welcome. There is no taboo questions here. This is a safe space where we get to explore things. So that's episode two, not episode two, segment two. Then segment three is I'll talk about money because money is important. We don't talk enough about money. My career for the past since forever, like since I started my career, I've worked in product development in the financial services industry. I've got like, and my current job, like for the past 5 years, my job has been building products that help improve people's financial lives. And as part of that, I've got certain knowledge, I've got certain understanding of customer needs when it comes to money and managing our money. And we know based on research, like worldwide, this is not like country specific, that money is one of the top causes of stress in people's lives. And it impacts our health, it impacts our relationships, it impacts the quality of our life. So I'll do a segment about money too, but it's not going to be me talking about what's the latest product or what's the latest fintech. No, 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 no. What I want to do is talk more about our relationship with money, our emotional relationship with money, our mindset and beliefs towards money. Because that's also a journey that I've been working on for the past 10 years. Actually, one of my very, very first seminars in London was with Robert Allen, and it was all about financial freedom. So I've been adventuring into this journey for a while as well, and I've made progress, and I've got tons of progress to make as well. So it's an ongoing journey, but it's important because money allows us to do things that we love. That's why I'm putting it in here as well. And then the last segment is going to be about people, that I'm calling it like chatting with friends. So this is where I will bring guests. I will bring other people to the show. I will bring either people that, well, this depends on who's open to coming to the show, right? It's like I'll bring friends. I would love to bring friends who've done like amazing things. I'd love to bring coaches that I've worked with over the years. Like I have a list of people that I've worked with over the past 10 years that it could be amazing to talk about what is it that they've done and their specific frameworks. I am not an expert that says, hey, this is my methodology, this is my journey, this is my set of tools that I created. I'm more of the opposite. I'm more of a, hey, I study all the experts and then I have all these tools in my backpack and then I use everything in my life or with clients. Like I use everything on a bespoke basis, situational basis. And that's what I would love to do, to then bring all these experts to say, hey, they are the experts on specific things. It's like, how can we learn from them? So I'd love to bring all these people that I've worked with in my journey. And of course, I would love to bring any other new people that come up and that they are relevant to you and me in this journey of life. So basically, that's it. The only other thing is I'd love to keep these episodes short. At least the ones where I talk on my own, I'd love to make them anything from 15 to 30 minutes, maybe 20, 25 minutes, just to keep it short. Sometimes I find that when I'm listening to a podcast, after minute 30, I'm lost, unless it is an interview. So whenever I bring guests, like it is so interesting to know people's stories that then probably we may go a little bit deeper. And in that case, I want to make them maximum 1 hour, not those that are like hour and a half, because then again, I get lost. So that's it for now. It's been amazing talking to you. I am excited about starting this journey. I'll add my social media handles in the text in the episode. Of course, you can find me in Spotify, and I am looking forward to creating more and more and more and more episodes in the coming days, weeks, and years, and to welcome you in this journey of life. Okie dokie. Have an amazing week and see you very soon. Ciao, ciao. Sending you much love. Bye.